Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, starring Stephen Pascal, Rico Aylesworth, John Ortiz, Johnny Lewis, and Ariel Gade, and directed by the brothers Strauss. Now, before getting into this movie, I remember this coming out Christmas Day 2007, and being in theaters, so excited to see this, and then by the end of it was very disappointed in it. And I'll discuss why in this review, so let's get into it. There are two different cuts of this movie. One is the one that I saw in theaters, and two, watched the one that I watched for this review. And I watched both for this review, so you may get the comparisons from me. But they're very different from the theatrical version this extended cut is, which didn't have... In the theatrical cut, it didn't have an extra ship that came out of the Predator ship and all that extra bullshit, whereas it's in the extended cut. We saw it in the extended cut, all those things, including in the theatrical cut. Predalien is somehow on the extra Predator ship, which they don't show the extra ship in the extended cut, whereas in the theatrical cut, we just see the in the extended, okay, let me put it into perspective. There's an extra ship in the extra Predator ship that ends on the first Alien vs. Predator, and then it poops out the other ship. And then in both the theatrical and the extended cut, there's this Predalien that's gonna take over and destroy two of the Predators. That's what I'm talking about. And this may sound confusing, because this is a very confusing movie, especially how bad it is. Okay, so in the next scene, the father that we get introduced to goes hunting with the son, and the facehuggers all of a sudden start appearing. And as they see the Predator ship, and the facehuggers escape, and the Predalien does as well, and we see the father shooting one of the facehuggers, and suddenly, because of the goo, he loses an arm, which, ew. And then another facehugger jumps on the dad, and not only does the son see it, he also gets it as well. And at that moment, it was a little too risky for me to watch the movie, and a little too much for me also. We do see the Predator homeworld, which that is just... I'll talk about that. Which I'll talk maybe more about this next year when we get to the Predator series next year. Not including this damn series, by the way. It was also a very bad risk, because I thought they didn't have homeworld, the Predators. I mean, I thought they didn't have a homeworld. Ugh. I'm so confused. But wait, there's more. Grrr, somebody shoot me now. The movie also takes place in this small town in Colorado, which... very odd choice. I actually have a question about the characters. One of them is the sheriff and one of them is the ex-convict. Why does the sheriff drive an ex-convict to his own home? And why do they keep conveniently running into each other? Isn't it, I don't know, a little awkward? Because, yeah, it's because for a sheriff to running into the ex-convict and hanging out with him? Oh, this is so confusing. Somebody hit me. Next thing you know, we see the ex-convict's brother, the pizza boy I'll call him, having a crush on some girl, which, ugh. And then we are on this next thing about where he delivers his pizza to her house, as well as the bully named Dale in the movie. Well, I'm just going to call him the bully because I don't really care about him. And she's dating him, and the bully whoops his ass and throws his keys in the sewer, which, good God, when I saw this in theaters, I thought to myself, are we watching a teenage drama or an Alien vs. Predator movie? What kind of bullshit is this? Really. I'm so confused. But wait, there's more. There are so many people in this Colorado town, it gets annoying. Here's a tip. Don't add too many characters. That's too much for me, damn it. The dad and the son getting the chest burster are not only completely unnecessary, but the very unsatisfying. It's very unnecessary and unsatisfying is the right word to put it. Again with the characters. Ugh. The army mom named Kelly, her daughter Molly is a very dumb and disrespectful character to begin with. Even to her own mother. Give me a break. She's, I don't know, she looked like she was like 8 or 10. I guess I'm not going to blame her too much. The facehugger on the homeless people and their dog Butch. I really hate that because didn't the dog get it again like he did in Alien 3? Ugh. Again, too confusing. The Predalien is an absolutely ugly thing. Just ugly. I know I'm barely into the movie, but there are so many problems I can't even begin. This is even an uglier movie than Alien 3. Also, very dark. Let's talk about how dark this fucking movie is. It is so dark that I can't see half of this damn movie. Like, these directors can't even afford any lighting at all? Give me a break. The writing is much worse than the first AVP. Despite that one being a PG-13 rated movie, and this one is a very hard R rating, the bloody skin after the Predator skins them alive is a very dumb thing to add in the movie. The women are too whiny, except for maybe Kelly, the army girl, as I'm going to call her. I like the Predator, the technology the Predator has when he can hook up the, like, say, like, put it on the wall and makes a net to kill off the alien creatures. That's pretty neat. I like that. That's the only thing I like, because I'm not going to be just a negative naysayer on the show. I like that moment, and there's another thing I like, which I'll get to later. The main Predator reminds me of the Harvey Keitel character in Pulp Fiction called The Wolf, of where he cleans up a mess for a job. The first AVP movie had a fight, which was a little kick-ass, but this is barely a fight. That's why I'm scratching my head, because the Predalien versus the Predator, where the Predalien is beating up the Predator and the aliens are being short-handed. Come on, do you really need that? Don't make this whole movie about Predalien versus Predator. It's like, Jesus Christ. The swimming pool scene where the pizza boy and his crush, I'm going to call her the Crush, are at the pool, and the Crush is asking the pizza boy, "Are you looking at me or the clock?" is a very romantic comedy cliche. I'm more looking at the clock than I am at you, girlie, or this movie. The death of Kelly, the army girl, slash her husband, slash Molly's father, and Molly makes a big deal out of it in the extended cut, is really stupid, because everybody dies sooner or later. Idiot. Well, I'm not going to blame her. She doesn't understand what that means. The alien ambush is such a failure of a ripoff of Aliens. It's the aliens versus the army people. Here's the other thing I like, that it doesn't involve the movie. It just involves two characters. The stoners. The ones at the gun shop. They were actually funny for what little they did in this movie. And the Predator blew up their heads. That's stupid. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. I really hate the scene with the Predalien and the pregnant ladies, because the ladies and the babies get killed off by the frickin' Predalien. This is so disrespectful to the Alien franchise that I regret watching this AVP shit before I ever got to Alien Covenant, like the way I did. Ugh. Molly's screaming really irritated the hell out of me throughout the movie, and like I said earlier, the Predator blowing up the heads of the two stoners was random in a very bad way. That's how I'm going to put it. Fun fact, though. The guy that played Colonel Stevens, the character, let me say, the actor, or the guy that's from the National Guard, it should have been Adam Baldwin when it's really a different guy. But he was too busy filming Serenity or something like that. And I thought to myself, if I were Adam Baldwin, I would be like, "Oh yes, I love to do it. I love to do your horrible piece of shit. But this scheduling conflict, they can't get Adam Baldwin. Excuse me. Excuse me." Yeah, he knew there was stink coming out of this fucking thing. The death of the pizza boy's crush is actually ridiculous because he was too she was too stupid to run away towards the fight between the aliens and the Predator in the first place. Even the pizza boy tries to be a badass, and it's actually really stupid when he actually looks like a stupid idiot by shooting the Predator with the damn gun. The sheriff is an idiot, I'm not talking about the pizza boy now, I'm talking more about the sheriff. The sheriff is an idiot because he thinks he was getting the rest of the town out of there, which, yeah, bullshit. Well, that line, "get to the chopper," is an Arnold Schwarzenegger line from the first Predator movie, not the ex-convicts line in this movie. That's why I'm scratching my head, once again, ladies and gentlemen. What's too silly is that the Predalien, the aliens, and the Predator go kaboom by the National Guard along with the town, and the sheriff, like a snap of a finger, too much. I really hope there's not another Alien vs. Predator movie ever again, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so it's time to rate the movie. I'd give this a 1.5 out of 10. It's the worst thing I could have ever have seen in an Alien or Predator film, and I'm not going to discuss it again next year when the Predator comes out. It's too dark. Too dumb. Too damn dark, like half the movie is. And whatever you do not watch this or the first AVP movie, because this series is dead to me. It's really dead. So I'll be back next week with Prometheus and the return of the horror Ridley Scott, which, yeah, I hope he comes back and succeeds. And until next time, game over, Strauss. Game over. You little fucking bastards.